Okay, hi, very good evening, and welcome to this different kind of a live show today. And my name is Shaunak, welcoming you to Physics for Students. I hope my voice and my video are all playing nice. Please do let me know if there is any problem in terms of the audio and the video part, because I really cannot understand those technical things. How, if there is anything kind of a, I hope that things are fine. Are you being able to listen, all of you? Mahira Rahat, I think you're logging in from Lahore. Dhruba has already talked. I love topic-wise book with some of the books on special relativity, which have some good problems, Minkowski space, etc. So Dhruba is telling hi. So am I audible? Can you just put to me a yes or no on the chat box? I would be more than happy to know. I think I am audible. Yeah. Okay, so the topic that we are going to discuss today is very important, that we all love books because physics and mathematics is not possible without books. Now, the problem comes when we are selecting a book, both in terms of purchasing a book, the amount of money that we spend, and then after purchasing that book, we come to know, oh, what happened? This is not my right kind of a book. Okay, before I begin, I would like to tell you one more thing, that I am exhausting in terms of hours in this specific channel. So please note that I might be online from tomorrow on this channel. Okay, just take a note. Sorry for this. Take a note on this. Also, those who are telling me that, sir, create a community where we can come and talk and we can explain a lot of things. So here is the community link. This is a Facebook page which I have created long back, although I don't update. So anything regarding the class, any PDF lectures, any PDF documents, any notes that I want to share or we would like to talk with each other, this is the link which is there, and you can like that. And every day regarding the class, etc., I'm going to update in this Facebook page. Secondly, the thing is that I would also like to tell you that this channel, which I'm just now flashing on my screen, this is another channel which, oh, Thomas Huth. Okay, yeah, nice. Hello from India. I think you're logging in from Germany. And Mahira Rath, good evening from, you're logging in from Lahore. Very good evening. So again, to tell you that I would be online maybe from tomorrow on this channel. So please copy and paste it in your notepad on your computer. Because this is another channel. These hours are getting off. So till 15th, I might be on this channel. So please keep a note. And this is the page where I'm keeping updating all regarding my classes, schedules, etc. Okay. So let me quickly come back to that point. So once we invest that money and then we say, oh my goodness, this is not the right book. I've spent a lot of money on that. This is not the right kind of a book which I should go. So what are the essential aspects that you should keep in mind when you're selecting or purchasing a specific mathematics or science book? So that is basically the topic. I'm going to tell you very important certain clues, certain ideas which will quickly make you understand the parameters. And after that also, if you feel that no, I am a little bit confused, etc., you can always WhatsApp me, email me, and talk to me regarding the purchase of the book. The first thing that I would like to tell is that try to avoid a book that avoids a brevity. I mean to say, try to get hold of a book that avoids brevity. I mean to say brevity in the sense that books which tells things in a very coincised manner. Say, for example, if I want to define the term derivative, right? So we can tell that derivative in calculus means rate of change. Now, that can be one way. But we can also say the derivative of a function measures how its output changes as input changes. So you see, the second one is much more clear. The second one is much more has much more clarity. That means what? That those books which assumes that you need to know a lot of things about that. Yes, Salman Khan, very good evening. So those books which assumes that the words, etc., are very much precise and small, I would say let us not go ahead for those kind of books. The reason is that when you're starting to read as a beginner, you have to keep in mind that this type of terms, which I just showed you, derivative in calculus means rate of change. Now, for people who know calculus or those who are veteran, for them it is easy. But those who are absolute beginner, then a little bit detailed thing makes a sense. So derivative of a function measure how its input changes, output changes as input changes. This is one thing. Another thing which I have missed in this, I would say, slide is that what are your objective? See, what happens is that whenever we are purchasing a book or when we are going for that, we need to identify what is my goal. Goal in the sense, for example, am I looking for just a general idea of general relativity? Okay, I just want to have a clear idea, just overall, what is relativity, what is gravitation time dilation, who was Einstein, what is field equation, that's it. So I really don't need to go to the depths. For that, there are many books. I mean to say, there is no harm. Don't say that, no, this is not right. I mean to say, for a person, the objective should be clear. Now, a person who tells, I'm quite veteran for about 10, 15 years into general relativity and gravity, I need to go to much more details. So I will purchase a much different kind of a book. Now, person who has just started his graduation and wants to know a little bit mathematics, little bit about easy understanding would go for a different book. So just keep it in mind that when you are going to purchase a book, go to Amazon, go to the bookstore, go to Flipkart, anywhere. When you are punching your card, when you're purchasing a book, make sure that you know what is your level. That means you judge yourself that what exactly you want, and based on that, purchase the book. Otherwise, it will become a problem. The next thing which I would like to say is this example, something that changes the motion of an object, for example. And if I say, what does it mean to change the motion of an object? Does it mean to make the object move faster, slower, or in different direction? So this kind of a definition is also very confusing. Something that changes the motion of an object. Now, what I'm trying to tell is that please do not purchase a book which uses brevity. That means tells everything in very short. It is good that certain books are telling things in short, but assuming that you know up to this level. So if I use this word, something that changes the motion of an object. Now, maybe Thomas Huth or Maida Rahat, they would not agree with me because you all know what it is. But for a beginner, or for a beginner means not in physics. For example, you are a veteran in relativity or physics, but you know about algebraic topology. You don't know about group theory. Yeah, Prasant, very good evening. I've got your email ID. I will send the certificate by today evening. Thank you. Yeah. So Prasant is one of our very old subscriber. So please do understand this thing when you're purchasing a book. What does it mean to change the motion? Does it make a move faster? So that means what I am requesting all of you, that when you flip over the book, try to look in that is it explaining things clearly, or it is assuming no, it is just that much. So that has to be. Again, when I'm saying that you are a beginner, it is not that your career as a beginner, it is not that you are a fresh graduate. I'm saying that you are a beginner in that particular subject. You are a master's in mathematics or a master's in philosophy, but that does not mean that you know everything. So assuming that you don't know that particular subject. So here is another example. The power to which a number must be raised to an equal number. This definition is also brief, but it is also incomplete. Why? Because it does not explain what a power or how to calculate a logarithm. Are you getting my point? So whenever you are purchasing a book, keep in mind these things, that what do we mean by power? Is it explaining logarithm? If it is not explaining logarithm, that means it is assuming that you know logarithm. I mean to say, for example, and I might not know that. So how will I understand? First point, I will go back. Please take a note of this, that try to avoid get hold of a book that avoids brevity. That means which is much more explanatory in nature. Clear? Okay. Second one is that a book that has holistic previews. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, say, for example, I'm going for a group theory or linear algebra as a whole. So I will learn linear algebra, matrices, determinant, symmetric, all those different types of calculations. But the most important concept is that if I go through first, second, third chapter, then does that book after those three chapters give a complete holistic understanding that, okay, till now we have learned this, so it means this. It means that with this type of determinant of matrix, we can go into quantum mechanics, or we can use the life better. This is practical usage for computer graphics, for whatever be the reason. That means at a certain point of time, it should be able to give a clear, holistic idea, not always into mathematics. Because you will see, I will tell you, Leonard Susskind, Professor Brian Greene, if you all watch all those lectures of these great people, I have seen Leonard Susskind's long videos, but after few minutes, he will say, okay, guys, so let us sum up what do I mean. That is important. Are you being able to sum up and get a complete holistic picture? So that is why you see in each of my lecture, I sum up and try to, okay, so what we have understood, because it might miss from your head. Let me give you a quick example. So for example, this book. This is a kind of a holistic approach. Why holistic approach? Because see, it tells that major components of quantum field theory. That means it has analyzed something in quantum field theory. Okay, then it is summarizing free, non-interacting field particles, interacting field particles, renormalization, and applications to experiment. And on the right hand side, you see it shows the four major parts of QFT. That means it has gone into details of quantum field theory. After certain chapters, it is telling that, okay, this is what is called a holistic picture. So we have learned this, and this. And in a summary, it tells us that what is quantum field theory, or the four major components of quantum field theory. Right? So that is a very important part. It should have a holistic preview. Here also, you see, this is another example. Points to keep in mind. That means you are doing such an intense study that you might forget certain thing. So it gives a holistic idea. With when the word field is used classically, this. So on the right hand side, you see it says terminology field is equal to operator in quantum field theory. That means whatever you are learning in terms of field, it then tells, okay, you have learned all those things. So summary, that field is equal to operator. So all over after learning, you will say, okay, so at the end of the day, after cracking my brain, what I have understood is this much. So this is what is called. So you see right at the right hand side, it says our goal, predict scattering and decay seen in nature. Isn't it beautiful? At the end of the day, the picture of our goal, you see, it makes it such way. That means previously there are many chapters of difficult mathematics, but now it is saying that, okay, field is equal to operator in quantum field theory, and what is the picture of our goal is this. Predict scattering in nature. So this is again a very important aspect in selecting a book. Okay, the next aspect is also a book which has schematic summaries. Now remember, I'm saying schematic summaries. I'm not saying schematic diagrams. There's a difference. Most of the physics, electromagnetic, or I want to say electromagnetism, whatever, will have a schematic diagram to explain the circuit, the transistor, the capacitor, etc. But what I am saying is this: schematic summaries. That means, say for example, you have understood a lot of things about tensors. Then how will Salman or Prasant feel that, okay, I will draw a picture, a schematic diagrams, tensors divided in two parts, covariant, covariant doing this, contravariant doing this, and a kind of a nice, you understand, a hierarchical diagram, so that when you see that picture, everything is clear. And we always tell that keep that picture in mind, keep that diagram in mind. What does that mean? That once you get the diagram in mind, or tensor divided into two, this is this, okay, this leads to this, a kind of a, what I would say, hierarchy. For example, when we are learning history, who was Akbar, Akbar's sons, his this. Same goes with mathematics books also. Here you see these are called a kind of a schematic diagrams, I would say. So pressure wave, plane waves, wave function, etc. All, I mean to say, then comes the pressure versus space and wave function. So everything is now summarized in a kind of a diagram. Are you getting my point? Please do tell me yes or no in the chat box. I can feel that you're really listening and participating. So try to get hold of a book which after every chapter gives not only a schematic diagram, I mean to say a schematic summary. That is very important. Here you see, this is again a schematic summary. Yeah, Salman says yes, I would equally appreciate if others say. So here you see, this is what a schematic summary. So the electron, the photon, the conduction band, this. So what I'm trying to say is this one. It helps to visualize complex concepts, helps to simplify complex concepts, help to clarify complex concepts, help to Priyanshu Shukla, okay, reinforce problems and used to troubleshoot problems. Now, here is a question. You might say, sir, do we have to keep all those things in mind before purchasing a book? Then it is going to take 15 days to know. But no, it is not like that. These are overall guidelines. But the more you learn through those, within 2-3 minutes, when you skip over the pages, you will get an idea. Yes, this is the book that I want. See, nowadays money is very precious, and as students, I really don't want you to waste money. It is not for me, it is for you. I don't want you to waste money, and I'm telling you with many years of experience, a wrong book will ruin your career, and a good book will always generate an interest. I will tell you, biology for me was never an interesting subject. Even today, when my daughter asks me, teach me biology, I divert it to my wife. She's an expert on that. Why? Because I never got a good book in biology and never read it well. And that is the reason I never got the interest in biology. So remember that if you're selecting a very wrong book, it will create a big problem. Okay, coming to the next part, please go for a book that reviews background materials. Now, what do I mean by background materials? Say, for example, today you're learning group theory. Now, in order to learn group theory, which is a part of abstract algebra, you need to go before that in differential calculus, derivatives, this. Now, Priyanshu or Salman might say that, sir, in that case, will that book is going to teach everything? No, I'm not saying that book is going to teach you everything, but there are books which goes back and review the materials. So we are going now into group theory. Yeah, Tharv Kadav, very good evening. So I think you enjoyed yesterday's podcast and you have written to Dr. Sudeshna and in the comment box. I really like that. Thank you very much. So what I'm trying to do is that there are books which will go and review a little bit about vector calculus, a little bit about partial differentials, a little bit about linear algebra and all those things. Are you getting my point? I mean, say they won't go you and teach linear algebra, obviously, but they would actually go back and teach, give a review of background materials. This is good in nature. This is good in nature for the simple reason is that in case that you are not aware about those things, say for example, vector calculus, gradient, whatever be it, and you don't know that, right? And you don't know that, then you will feel, okay, if this book is telling that curl and vector and gradients are required, let me go back quickly and learn a little bit of curl and then I come back. Because internally, you know that you are not good in terms of curl and vectors and gradients. For example, I mean to say, I am not blaming you all. So I will go back and study. Why? Because that book demands a little bit of brush up of the topics. See, we are all into physics and mathematics. It is not possible that we remember everything at the same time. I often forget and tell, wait, I will look into it. Because I'm into something at the surface level, I'm forgetting those things. So there is a book, there are books which goes for the background review of materials. That means it starts with the basics, as I told you, a little bit of vector, etc. It goes to the historical context. It gives short reviews. Myra Rahat is telling, yes, I agree with you. On the relative background, special boxes and cross references and online resources. That means you will see, I don't have the book right. For example, that book, I think Atharva, somebody was telling me there is a book called Visual, what was that? Visual complex analysis, I think, or something like that. So there, that books, after kind of writing gives a small box. Okay, that box tells, so the summary of this paragraph is this. Okay, Euler's equation or anything like that. So this is very important. Remember that if there are cross references, that means from here I'm going a little bit back to vector calculus or to the basics, etc. It is good. The book becomes a little bit fatter, book becomes a little bit heavy, but that is good. That means the author is assuming you don't know those things, and I'm teaching you right from the beginning. Now, again, as I told you right at the beginning of this class, that it depends upon your level. Now, if you feel that, no, I am confident enough, I know all those things, that book is not meant for you. it might be a wastage of time and money. You should go for advanced books. But for those who think, no, 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 this is the kind of a book I need, they are giving me a review of the background, the historical context, what I should read, and you might find that you're lacking in something. How would you know? When you get those things, the historical context, the special boxes, the online resources? There are a lot of books nowadays which gives that, go to this website, go to that website, go to this blog. Isn't it wonderful? That is very important. The next part is that the book that emphasizes only on basic concept, not on the peripheries. Now, here what I'm trying to tell is that there are a lot of books, even YouTube lectures, I won't mention the name over here, that it starts, for example, with Newton's laws of gravity, but essentially it goes back to Gauss's law of gravity, then into general relativity, or Galileo, or Copernicus, and so on. Now, it is not the problem of the lecturer. It is not the problem with the author. That is the way of talking. That it goes. Sometimes you will see, I also go there. And I tell, okay, wait, I'm going off topic. That means you have to be very careful about this part. A book that emphasizes on the basics concepts and not on the peripheries. That means if a book is not speaking of the main topic, but going too much around here or there, that is not the book for you, because you will get confused in those other topics and ultimately it results into nothing. So that is again a very important concept. Next is that the book that have proper exercises with a proper return on investment market. This is a very important book. Very important point. What I'm trying to maintain is that I've seen many books right now in my computer. I have certain books where the exercises are so difficult that you waste your time, you crack your head, but you are unable to solve those exercises. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you will feel frustrated. What Shaunak sir is telling is all false. These are all fake things. Mathematics is very difficult. The reason is that, I'm just joking. The reason is that you have selected a wrong book. Absolutely. Author is always right to the point. I love him. I mean to say, I love all. So you mean visual complex and Tristan Needham. Visual complex analysis and visual topology, both of them are great books by Tristan Needham. And remember, author Tristan Needham's supervisor of mathematics was none other than the great Dr. Roger Penrose. Okay, yeah. So this book, if you go typically, I will pick up another day to show you the book, what it means, because in one lecture I cannot complete. And as I told you that I am exhausting in terms of hour, but I equally love talking with you and teaching. So because all of you are now here, I would like to give you this link. Please be there online in this channel also. I will mention in the community box, because I might be teaching from that channel because I have more number of hours. So please be there. Okay. And this is another page which I'm giving it to you in order to know the updates, etc., which day which class will start. If I'm not available also, this is the page for you. Please copy and paste, and this is the channel. Please be there also, because I will be online maybe from tomorrow onwards. I will put it in the community box. So anyway, so book that has the proper return on it, that means should not be very difficult. Say for example, this one, you see it is very simple. Returning to the flat space, this it has given a kind of a understanding and exercise. Also this one, find the element, what it is written, and metric of Euclidean space. This, that means you have to keep it in mind that those exercises which are given to you are just to exercise your brain, not to challenge you and keep you and feel you bad. You know, sometimes I'm so sorry to tell, there are some certain lecturers and professors who try to show their own skill to the students. That is not the way. As a teacher, I should come to your level and then teach you. If you don't know anything, I have to start from scratch. If you know up to this, I have to start from this. And if to know from this, I have to start from there. So it is no use for selecting a book that gives so much amount of difficult exercises that it will make your life hell. Don't go for that. Another one, the book should have small steps rather than large ones. That means instead of going for all those things together and then explaining everything together, it should take step by step. Okay, Thomas Huth tells that 100% agreed. Now, what I'm trying to tell is that that means it will teach you step by step. That means, say, for example, first part, trigonometry, say, for example, it is done. And then it will tell you, okay, so in this part we have learned this. It is a kind of a review, you can say, but still I would say this is taking in small. I will show you one example of this famous book of Leonard Susskind, Quantum Mechanics. Now you see what he does is that he has taught up to certain level, then he is telling, putting it all together. We have covered, you see this language of Professor Susskind. We have covered a lot of ground in this lecture. Before moving, let us take stock of what we have done. Our goal is that now we have done a lot of things, and now we are going to take a stock. That means I am trying to put small parts together. See, if you talk of many things and then you summarize, no use, you will forget. So it is better that you talk about and summarize. Go ahead and summarize in this way. That book that uses simple concrete examples, that means that you should use examples which are very concrete and which are very simple. Okay. And there is another thing which I would say, there are many books which I have seen that uses this kind of a example, like simple, trivial, obvious, and so. What do you mean by trivial? What do you mean by simple? What do you mean by obvious? Whenever you're saying that it is very obvious, again you're assuming the reader to know a lot of things. That is why I always prefer a fatter book is better than a thinner one, because we sometimes feel cycle, oh my goodness, that is a 1,000-page book. But you never know that 1,000 pages, the first 400 or 300 pages are just to give you a review. If you know that, skip that and go and start from there where you know, where you don't know. So remember, this is a very kind of a proverb, I would say. The fat book is better than a thinner book. I mean to say, not always. I hope you understand this. So simple means what? Obvious means what? No meaning. You have to define it properly. It can be subjective. It can be an underestimation. You say it is simple. Then what do you mean to underestimate me? Discouragement and cultural and educational difference. Because what is simple over there might be very difficult over here. So we should select a book that should not take cultural and educational differences. Well, Myra Rawat, PhD students should know how to write this book step-by-step material. Your book should be same quantities so that all those will be meaningful for further students. Yeah, absolutely. Myra Rahat is telling that we should know, and I absolutely agree to that. And now what I would also like to tell you is that I am doing a little bit of research where I would take a special class, not one, but many episodes, how to write a research paper. Many colleagues, many researchers in LinkedIn has told me that, Chaunak, you should start with something which is called how to. This is something which is really required. How to read difficult mathematics books. Yeah, Shashank, that is also a very debatable and an important topic. Anyway, why don't we take it in another class? This Shashank's question, how to difficult mathematics book. I will show you a difficult mathematics book and we will discuss. Athar Kadav is saying, sir, I have books recommendation calculus by, it is a little bit simple. It is little bit simple is read twice. Yeah, I forgot to mention that because I'm rushing. It is already 28 minutes. I have to, tomorrow I will speak on that channel also. So the recommendation also has to be taken. I will show you how to read the recommendations. And again, there's a problem in recommendation, you know. I have a book, okay, how to be strong in mathematics. Well, Salman, this is a very broad question. I cannot answer right now. How to be strong in mathematics? Okay, let me take it as a separate class one day. I will talk on that, how to be strong in mathematics. Right now, it is very difficult. We are talking on a different book. How to understand mathematics rigor and how to develop. Yeah. I will talk on all those things. These are very good things. So two things coming up. One is how to write a research paper with proper English, abstract, body, etc. And second one, almost equal to Shashank's suggestion, is that how to write a mathematical proof or mathematical rigor. Now, I already made 2 videos on how to write a proper mathematical proof. I think that discussing will make things clearer, right? What is mathematics rigor? Okay, these things I will discuss is later, because whatever you are asking are very relevant. But right at this moment, we are talking about how to select a book. So let us stick to that. Mathematical rigor is something where there is no circular definition. And whatever they say, the color of my shirt is brown. That means no other colors are brown. Nobody present in this room is got wearing a shirt, and nobody is like me What do I mean by me? Me means this Shaunagby or maybe somebody else. So you define the definition, Sashank, in such a way that there are no circle. We discussed this just before, a day before yesterday, in one of the book, beautiful book of differential geometry, which tells that the definition of a pencil, how do you write it? This is a very good question from Sashank. I would love to talk a lot on that, but let us make a separate episode on that, right? So that is all. So I hope that you liked today's today's lecture. So before I end, I will just quickly, Vishnu, you are late. Yeah. But it is there in the video section, live section. You can just link it. So just a quick, very quick 1 minute review. So try to take a book that is descriptive, does not have much of brevity. Try to take a book which has got a holistic preview. That means it gives a complete idea about that. Try to get a book which has got schematic diagram summaries. Remember, I'm not talking of summary as a whole, but pictures, photographs that give summaries. Try to get a book that reviews background materials. That means maybe you need to go to class 12, BSc or something like that, and you need to look onto it. That is also very good. Try to get a book that emphasizes on the basic concepts and does not go here and there and here and there. So that is important. A book that should have exercises. That means the exercises should not be very difficult, but just to make your brain work and test whether you know these things or not. Try to get a book which summarizes things after taking small steps. It's not that they complete 50 pages and then make a summary. Doesn't make any sense. Also, try to get a book that uses simple and concrete examples, and try to avoid those books which uses terms like simple, trivial, and obvious. That's all. Sashank is asking, what is the difference between pure mathematics and applied mathematics? Okay, wait, Sashank, I think I've got a very good video on this, pure and applied mathematics. What is the difference? And okay, Sashank, can you just ping me in WhatsApp after this? I will send you. I have done a very intensive video, as far as I remember, on pure mathematics and applied mathematics. What is the difference and what to do? Or maybe I have not done. You can just ping me. I will tell you. But I can talk on that. So I will be back tomorrow. I will try to be in this channel to something else. But if I'm not, again, I'm giving you the new channel link. It's not a new channel. I mean to say, there also I'm working on general relativity and taking classes. But just be here, please. Otherwise, we won't be able to talk. So again, I'm flashing this simple youtube.com/general relativity explained. So I will log in from that channel tomorrow, and I will also continue a little bit about this book, and I will try to address Sashank's question, what is a mathematical rigor and applied mathematics, something like that. So I think that would be very good. So thank you very much. So Sashank and others, can you tell me, how did you enjoy today's class? Did you think this is very important? Or how did you, please put it up in the comment box. I would like to see quickly in a minute or so, then I will log it off. Please use differential calculus or use a reading textbook. Yeah, I'm asking, how do you find this lecture? This tips about books and how to do that. Do you think that this is coming useful to you? All those points that I talked about. So how do you find it? It was a great video session. Okay, who is this? Sashank is telling. Okay, great. Anybody else? Thomas Sooth has already told that he liked it. Dhruva is telling yes. But you know, with Dhruva, I cannot complete it in one session. I mean to say, I have to go again and again and again. So that's one. Okay, Salman is telling awesome. Thank you very much. That's all I need. So tomorrow on the other channel, which I was explaining to you, this channel, please be there. And I would be talking on that. Again, I might come back to this channel. So I told you that keep an eye on the Facebook page, which I have given. Vishnu is showing his heart out. Thank you, Vishnu. You're welcome. Goodbye. See you tomorrow, same time, 9:15 p.m. on the other channel. Thank you very much. Yeah, learning how to learn great foundation. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.